Nope.
You know who's got convictions? Maybe I'll give him a compliment to start out the segment. That Ethan Klein fellow.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't discuss this to clutch pearls. And I don't mean to accuse without offering you your fair say either. But God knows a long list of horribles has been said on this show, including, I would say, periodic flirtations with calls to violence that happen.
This is different. I'll tell you why in a moment.
Okay. You want to wait to explain or address?
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll talk about Ethan Klein.
I share this story to observe the hypocrisy, both by the supposedly morally superior anti-violence progressives and by YouTube, although I guess YouTube has enforced their own rules now. But on his show on Friday, Ethan Klein, YouTuber with a massive audience and a progressive political perspective, discussed the NRA convention and said straight up, someone should bomb that building.
So there was a big protest outside the NRA meeting, which was good. Do we have any insight into what they're actually talking about there at the NRA meeting that's today in Texas? Someone should bomb that building.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do you want to address the differences now or wait?
Well, I'm right about the people that I want to kill.
Okay, fair.
Okay, what he's saying, I first of all, I do think it was in jest.
That's his defense, as it was a joke. Part of his defense.
I always talk about holding people accountable for things that they've actually done. Nobody's ever going to convince me the NRA is responsible for any of these things. Why? I talk about like Nancy Pelosi. She's done shit. Her specifically. She's done specific stuff.
It's the association of the NRA that's wrong, not the bombing. If the NRA killed the kids, then bomb the NRA.
But yeah, I
gotta be careful here. We're gonna get ourselves into the same trap as Ethan Klein.
If the NRA funded this guy and they sent him out there, or if Ethan Klein was like, this guy clearly was a glowy, he clearly had some kind of federal funding, we should bomb whoever funded him. All right. On board.
Actually, hypothetically, Susan, I'm not even, this is actually hypothetical discussion. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Klein also encouraged people to go get in people's faces, Okay. He also said, this is how he also violated YouTube's rules. He was critical of Governor Abbott's disability, which you can't do. And there was a hate speech component. Klein said of Greg Abbott, I hope someone puts a stick in his fucking wheelchair and he tumbles out of his seat. Send Abbott down a hill with nobody to hold the back of his wheelchair. Now, again, full disclosure, I have made Governor Hot Wheels jokes once or twice on this show in the past. Last I recall, when Abbott made a whole video condemning Gab for their hate speech. Anyway, but this generated a lot of Twitter controversy in the days since because, of course, YouTube says you can't question election results. YouTube says you can't question vaccine efficacy. YouTube says you can't talk about certain ideas they don't like, but at least for a little while, it was apparently okay to straight up call for a terrorist attack against certain targets, at least, until this morning. Ethan Klein has tweeted announcing that conservatives got triggered and reported him, so YouTube banned him for a week and removed the episode. If only they cared about dead kids as much as they do jokes, he says. Well, it is possible to care about both mass killings and incitement to violence. You could, condemn both of those things.
He's so lame. That's my problem with him. He's lame. It's not the death threats.
You need cool death threats, Ethan.
Yeah.
Step it up. And it's possible that wanting to defend your family is caring. This is where it gets super hypocritical. Ethan Klein himself knows this. Here he is recently describing how he has his own semi-auto shotgun at the ready for possible attackers.
So I'm not against violence when it's necessary. Punching a guy for saying a stupid joke is not necessary. And if you want to test me, come to my fucking house and I've got 7 bullets. It's a semi-automatic shotgun and I can unleash 7 fucking bullets on you without even have to cock that bitch.
What? I don't know anything about guns, but that doesn't sound right.
I assume he means slugs when he talks about his shotgun firing 7 bullets semi-automatically. Anyway, yeah, in general, that would not be the appropriate term for the projectile coming out.
That
of
was the
shotgun.
only problem with what he said.
Well, the other problem is that it's funny how capacity and rate of fire are relevant considerations when it's him and his family, who are on the line.
Yeah.
But, if you want to preserve such rights for yourself, it's because you love to dance on dead kids. And of course, all of this pushback is reasonable, I would say. But Ethan says that it's not reasonable. It's just a bunch of, what else? Anti-Semitism. He says he's never received so many death threats and anti-Semitic shit in his life. A lot of conservatives really hate Jews. Interesting how the death threats are wrong again now. So Ethan Klein calls for bombing innocent people. That's a joke. If I tweet, something that is perceived as a threat to Ethan Klein, well, that's a death threat that is beyond the pale.
We should